And now with Scarymania coming to a close, and now we're talking about the movies from the 2010s, it's time to talk about my favorite horror movie from the 2010s, from director Fede Alvarez, Don't Breathe. We're coming down to the wire here on Scarymania. Now it's time to talk about a couple of horror movies from the last decade, the 2010s. Let's start off with my favorite horror movie of the 2010s, Don't Breathe. This was directed by Fede Alvarez, who had directed the 2013 remake of The Evil Dead, and after this would direct Crawl. So he's one of my favorites going today. It tells the story of three thieves who learn of a large sum of money hidden away in a decrepit old house where a blind man lives. They think it's a pretty easy score, so they decide to go ahead and try and rob the place. But it turned out to be just the biggest mistake of their lives, as the blind man, played by Stephen Lang, turns out to be a lot smarter and more vigilant than they had anticipated. The biggest compliment that I could give to this movie is that it is absolutely relentless. In the first third or so, it gives you everything you need to know about the three thieves and how you do kind of sympathize with them even though that they're doing bad things, and once you learn about that, they're thrown directly into the crap storm. The thieves in the movie are played by Jane Levy, Dylan Minnette, and Daniel Zovatto. Levy is probably best known for being in Castle Rock on Hulu. Dylan Minnette is unfortunately a part of 13 Reasons Why on Netflix, which is just very sad. But at least he was in Denis Villeneuve's Prisoners, so there's an upside to everything. And Daniel Zovatto would go on to be in Lady Bird, so all three main actors have gone on to some success. As I said, the blind man is played by Stephen Lang, who is an absolute beast in this movie. He is absolutely horrifying. He lures you in with his blindness, but then as soon as you turn and look away, he is on top of you. He also has a dog in the movie, which also acts as kind of like his mini-boss. Whenever he's not around, that damn dog is always around. This movie follows the Alfred Hitchcock school of directing, in that just when you think you know the answers, I change the questions. Just when one of the thieves thinks they're out of one situation, they're thrown directly into an even worse situation. I will say this, though. This movie is not for everyone. There are definitely some moments that almost tip into the over-the-top territory. But it does ground everything in some kind of a reality, so everything just balances itself out. They just finished shooting the sequel, and my hope is that it's even better than this one, because this was a great start to a potential franchise.